How's it? Yussus. So we're back. You're here today again with my brother Tyrone and myself, Janini P, celebrating and speaking everything lekker about our South African Rainbow Nation. Today's episode features a very special guest. She was born in Johannesburg and grew up in the city vibes. She studied journalism and the French language after school, and she's worked most of her life in marketing and communications as a content developer and specialist, an editor, marketing manager, and program coordinator for some of the top marketing companies and publishing houses globally. She is a whiz with words and has been actively involved in creating content and copy for the Yussus lifestyle website and social media pages. She moved from Johannesburg to Cape Town a few years ago for work and is now currently residing with her mom in Nelspruit. She is a gracious and humble person, showing the echte gees of South African people. She brings humor and laughter to any adversity South African life throws her way, and she's an absolute gem of a person. So I am so excited and honored to welcome my friend and soul sister, Kate Penelope Rau.
Hello, my cooks.
Hello, my sweetheart.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, and Taz also
Hello,
here with
Katie.
Hello, cooks. How you, Ta?
All right, and you?
Yeah, lekker, thank you.
How's your mom?
Yeah, she's good. We had a really good dinner. We had a bra.
Lekker.
So she and I had a nice salad, and she had a little bit of steak and a bit of worsie, and now she's chilling and I'm chilling.
Is she still checking on Boersoeke Vrou for me?
Still checking on what?
The Boersoeke Vrou. What is that thing that she was trying to check for me?
How did you find out about this? How did you know I was checking it?
She tuned me straight. You must go
So
look
she's going to put you on Boersoeke
Yeah,
Vrou.
she said, we're going to put you on Boersoeke Vrou.
But now I must tell you, the other night, I was sitting, I don't often sit and watch TV with Mom, but it was going to rain or something, so I wasn't sitting outside, and I was sitting watching. And the signal was terrible on the DSTV, but I caught like 15 minutes of Boersoeke Vrou, and now I'm hooked.
On DSTV.
And now I'm hooked, Ta. I'm hooked, and now I'll never know who Dion hooks up with.
Why?
Well, because the signal was cuck, so then the DSTV died.
Another South African lekker-ness.
But it's actually quite cool. But it's also kind of weird because it's like this weird competitive thing with women.
Okay.
And then the guys are like, no, Ty, you're better than that. You're not going to go and Boersoeke Vrou.
Okay, thank you.
No.
I won't do it.
So it's something like
No,
the American Bachelor.
Exactly. It's like the American Bachelor, but they set it up on farms.
The South African
And
version.
yeah, and they're not all fris young farmers, you know.
All got the beer boobs.
Well, some did, some were older.
Okay.
Probably loaded.
And what I found really interesting, yeah, exactly, probably loaded, and that's what I found really disturbing about it, because the women that they pair them up with are not the type of women that you think could live on a farm. You know, there were a couple of them like decked out in like spaghetti strap tops and wedges, and you're sitting next to a combine harvester. You know what I mean?
No, it's not going to work.
That's crazy. So I wanted to just welcome you to the pod, to the first pod.
Thank you.
And also
I
just
feel honored and privileged.
But you are honored and privileged. You're the woman who has a
Thank
way
you.
with words, a heart of gold, and a mind filled with imagination and creativity.
Yeah.
And you're my
thank you.
sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Tart.
Yeah. So I wanted to also just bring up a point, like in terms of childhood and being born, Ty and you both born in the same hospital, Marymount, eh?
Can you believe it?
Can't,
Just
eh?
actually looking.
Can you
I'm actually
believe it?
looking at it right now. So we're sitting right
Yeah.
above it.
Amazing, hey?
Do you know? I think it turned into a training college. All those nuns that brought us up, I don't know where they've gone now.
Yeah, would they still be alive, Katie?
Oh yeah, that's also true, babe.
They're back to Ireland.
I remember my standard 3 teacher was a nun. Her name was Sister Bartholomew. And
Wow.
she actually reached 101. I think she's passed away now, but she was like in 2020, in the beginning of 2020, 100. So
Listen, say what you want about nuns. I know your school. I know your school story was nuns, but those nuns knew what to do with babies. Hey,
Yeah.
you had the baby. My mom said it was fabulous. She went in. They made proper food. Babies were put in incubators or wards or whatever. They knew how to look after
I was
these
at the
little
Park
precious
Lane.
bubbas.
I was at the Park Lane. and I
Oh,
don't
you're
think-
fancy. You're a fancy baby.
Well, I don't know if it was so fancy because Mom decided after my birth never to go back there because it was almost like a fatal one. Yeah, doctor wasn't so cool. I don't know if it was the hospital or if it was just the doctor that was a asshole. But,
Are you going to take out all the names of these things so you don't get sued for libel?
do you think we'll get
Baby,
sued, eh?
Never.
I don't
Can't.
know. We're rocking Yussus, eh?
If
If
we
we
get that
haven't-
much traction, it'll be great.
So tell us some news. Tell us some things that you love.
Some growing up things. So that's where I was born. Then I remember the first that I remember, we were super privileged when we were very young. My dad was a builder and he had this company called Relax Paving. How cool, that was his company name,
Lekker.
Relax. Lekker.
Lekker.
And he built and paved our first home. It was one of those face brick homes, and it was in Florence Avenue in Bedfordview.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that
Florence
was
Avenue,
like
that's
lekker rijk.
lovely. Still is.
Yeah, super privileged then. My pops had, he'd played baseball for South Africa and he had
Wow.
a lot of ambition, and this Relax Paving was just working. But I must also tell you that the lady who was looking after us, we were twins, her name was Mavis. Mavis was with us. I mean,
Typical
like-
Mavis.
but Mavis ran a shebeen out of Florence Avenue. And I remember one night the cops came to bust her and my father tuned them. He was like, get off the property, it's private property. So,
Oh, that's lekker. You stood up for her.
yeah, of course.
But I
Of
remember
course.
that Bedfordview had a couple of shebeens running, even around the corner from Italian Club, which was under 18s club. But if you,
I remember
if you knew the
Italian.
deal, you knew to go around the corner and you could get yourself one of those quartz beers. Do you remember that?
I didn't know the deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
you
were
didn't
like-
know
You
the
knew
deal.
the deal. I
I
didn't
knew
know
the
the
deal.
deal.
It was like 8 rand a
I
quart.
didn't know the deal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe
No,
I've just
man.
revealed a secret that I shouldn't have. But
No,
I was around
man.
the
I
corner
didn't
with
know
my
the
friend.
deal. Oh, no.
I'm
It was
sorry,
like 8
Kate.
rand a
You-
quart.
Yeah, it was expensive. Obviously, they were really taking advantage, but there were a lot of
8
rich.
rand a quart's nothing. Gee whiz.
Ty,
No.
you even knew the deal. Oh, 'cause I feel
no,
left
'cause-
out.
Yeah, a couple of my buddies used to also at Italian Club. They would,
But
go,
how big
they would
was-
go down
oh,
to the
yeah.
shebeen there. It was right by the Health and Record. Or PCC.
Yeah.
Yes, actually. Yeah.
I never rocked
No,
that.
man, I
I
didn't
rocked
even
my
know about
Fanta
that.
Orange. That's all I did.
Nah, I must say, hey, I'll be open and
Yeah,
honest. I
me
had
too,
the
a
wild side.
Sprite. No, man, I had a Sprite and a small packet of tomato Simba chips. That was it.
Oh, the tomato Simba chips got me through many break times at school. Eh? Oh,
So then I was a Bedfordview kid. I went to Bedfordview Primary. I went to Bedfordview Nursery School first.
oh yes.
I'll never forget my first love. I climbed a tree in Bedfordview Nursery and he tried to kiss me and I pushed him off the tree and the dude fell out and bit his tongue.
Oh.
my word.
Eesh. Eesh.
Oops.
Yeah, serious. I think I climbed out the tree and ran all the way home. Ah!
You were scarred for life.
God for life. And there was this huge tire at Bedfordview Nursery School, like this huge tire filled with sand.
Yes.
And I was always like the daredevil, And I remember also running up to it and doing a forward somersault, and they had taken out all the sand.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been a
Which made me which made me the special person I am today.
Oh. I had that. I fell out of a car once, yeah. And my mother kept driving. And my brother was like, Mom, you lost your daughter.
She kept driving.
Yeah, she didn't know.
She was in a rush, always in a rush.
My mother had 4 kids and she was ready to rumble. Like evil.
She just kept driving.
Have some competition, yeah. But then Ty screamed, thank God, because she didn't know. I just like plopped out the side door.
Oof.
Behind her, so I don't
Were you sitting fiddling? Were you like playing with can the door open, can it close, pushing the little lock thing down?
No, I didn't touch it, but my cousin had got out before me. We had just dropped her off, and I don't think she closed the door properly, and we had one of these blue Chevets. These old school Chevets, like my friends' parents were rocking BMWs, and my mother pulled in there with the Chevet that shook every time she switched it off a couple of times, like, you know, with a broken left light. But, of course, the doors weren't so great. So, of course, with not being closed properly, and I leant on it, and the force of the driving, I just went, plop, out the door. But she wasn't going too fast, so that's why I'm only half cray-cray.
It made you the special person you are today. Yeah.
Exactly. And then?
But I don't remember. Then I was at Bedfordview Primary. I was a very well-behaved student.
Yeah.
I'm joking, hey?
Yeah, I know.
I was very naughty.
As we all were.
Yeah, I was very, very naughty. Yeah, very, very naughty. My mom was a teacher by then. My mom had started studying, and she became a teacher, and she was teaching at Eastleigh Primary.
That would have been easy, mom being a teacher.
Yeah, you know, so what happened was I was kind of at school quite a bit. You know, you get dropped off, because your mom's a teacher, you get dropped off at like 6:45. Scholar patrol duty, I was there. Doing scholar patrol, then school, then aftercare, right?
Yeah.
But I was very naughty. I was friends with all the kids that was a year older than me.
Ooh.
And I thought I was just...
the bee's knees.
I was very... Yeah. When I was in standard 4... Oh, no, I don't know. I can't tell you the story. It's just too naughty.
Are you sure about that?
But yeah.
Okay. And then you went off to boarding?
Well, let me tell you why I went to boarding school, because this will help. So when I was in standard 4, now all my mates are older, and they're all already naughty. They're all the ones who failed standard 5 once, so now they're doing it again, you know? And that's who I'm hanging out with. My mother's so proud.
Oh, my God, I'm sure.
And I'm getting F to all sorts of nonsense. And standard 4 in my school uniform. At the bottom of Bedfordview Primary, where the news cafe was, where Doppio is now, like on the other side of Bedfordview, there used to be an old cafe there. And it was like a corner cafe. And he had a pinball machine, and he had like a Pac-Man machine, and you could buy like sweeties. But when I was 10, turning 11, I decided it was a good idea to go buy cigarettes in my school uniform.
Oh, wow.
And to come back and to smoke them in the girls' bathroom.
So they still sold them to you?
You were the girl we
I
heard about.
I know. And not any cigarettes, Vogue cigarettes. Do you remember the long, thin rat tampons? Yeah.
Vogues.
So, and I didn't know how to smoke, man. You're not like smoking, you know, but like you're having this long thing hanging out. You're like all cool.
It was so cool in those days, you know.
I was the coolest of the cool until I got busted.
Yeah, of course.
And I got busted so badly, and then they didn't dig me, hey?
No. Then you were put to some discipline.
Yeah, Anyway, I wouldn't say that's why I went to boarding school, but I was naughty.
Contributing factor, for sure.
Contributing factor,
yeah.
My brother was also naughty, but at least he had sports. You know, like sports would keep him busy.
Yes.
I was never a team player at sports. I played softball. I used to swim, all of that. But don't put me on a team with all of these other chicks playing netball. I just can't.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah, I was also not like I enjoyed the individual sports. I enjoyed the tennis and I enjoyed the swimming and
and the ballet.
When it came to the others, it was a bit intense. But now listen, in boarding
Just a
school,
very intense, yeah.
was there a lot of like kids there? Did you pick up your own slang there? Did you use slang in boarding school?
Oh, there was so much. There was so much. So you had like, well, borders are borders, right? So everyone's a border. But then whatever house you're in, you'd have that slang. And then things like, oh, but you also have skivvies. You also have skivvies there at school, you know, that's the same thing. But there's lots of like jargon that goes just with boarding school. Like, now you're asking me like 30 years ago, my brain can't remember.
Well, that's all right.
Like your matrics, you had when you started, when you were like in standard 6, you had a specific matric that looked after you and also kind of did your initiation, you know, in boarding school, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there was definitely a lot of slang and jargon that was just for that type of time. Like, and also things that you do, like bells would go and then it would be time for sports, or it would be time for food, or it would be time for tuck. Tuck is like, tuck's quite a lekker one.
Tuck, yes,
yeah, tuck. Yeah, like in your tuck box. Yeah, exactly.
And
we used to bring tuck.
Biscuit must have been, hey? Did you bring tuck?
Yeah,
oh,
but you would have a tuck box, and then at like after dinner, between 7:30 and 8:30, they'd open the place where they kept all the tuck boxes. Like you would bring your tuck from home. Like your mom would give you a box of like lekker tuck, and then you were allowed to go and take some tuck like for like an hour and a half, and then they locked it up again. And there were matrons, and you had like, I can't remember a lot of the words.
That's okay.
But there was definitely a lot of jargon.
But now what I want to ask you is, what is your favorite words now? What words do you use? What words do you not like? What do you love using?
Do you know what? I'm with Ty. I hate awe. I hate awe. I don't like it at all.
You know,
I'm with Ty on that one.
Also because, like, again, it's too much like aware. And I want people to be more aware. And then they're like, what do you mean? Aware? No. Aware.
Exactly.
Like awareness, bro. Like, wake up.
And also the type of people who say aware are like, go and do an meditation. I don't know. I just don't dig it. I like Aish. Like Aish. I use Aish a lot. I use lekker
when I used
all
to
the time.
In Highlands, and it was a difficult exam. The amount of times I used to hear Aish. Aish. I'm struggling, eh? Aish.
I like Haibo.
Oh, I've never really eaten Haibo. You know what I love? Y'all will know fine. Y'all will know fine.
Like
y'all know well fine. Y'all know. How you doing? Y'all know I'm fine. Like we say y'all know. People like, is it y'all or is it no?
But we know that that's the in between. We are, but we also know. So it's a y'all know.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
And
I love
Cape
that.
Town, you lived in Cape Town for a while. So I'm just wondering if the Cape Town slang influenced you.
I never used sweet. I was not a sweet person. I am not a sweet. I'm not a my brew. I don't mind kiff. I don't mind a kiff every now and then.
Kiff's a bit of a Durban.
Kiff is it Durbs? Yeah, I guess it's not Cape Town.
But it's Cape Town. It's surf culture. So I suppose.
Yeah.
But I just remember Kiff from the party days. That was back then.
Kiff, my bro, Kiff.
That's Kiff, man, you know.
And
I'm also not like a Port Alfred Machana. Hey, Machana.
Machana, that's Joburg as well. Machana, that's huge.
Machana.
The word we haven't heard for a while, but like it's used so much is sif. Oh, that's sif. Like, so
and it's actually derogatory. Like, what are you saying, Machana?
Machana is, I suppose, if you really want to get...
Well, Tyrone was saying earlier that there was a guy.
Well, it comes from Cockney slang in London, you know, because it's the whole rhyming thing. So it's China plate, which rhymes with mate. So my China is my mate.
Ah.
You see what I mean?
She clued up here.
And then when you say it in front of Chinese people, then they're kind of like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, listen, the Chinese people aren't very famous. Like, they're not very popular at the moment. So any other Asian people, you say my China in front of them, they're not going to be too happy.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no.
But also there's another one. Yeah, no. There's another one, lank.
Lank, maybe. Lank.
Like lank.
No, I was never a lank.
No.
Kind of lank. Do you know what I did learn a lot in Cape Town? I learned a lot of Yiddish slang. Like I love, hey, my kukala, which isn't, like there's a whole side of Yiddish. My kukala,
Yes.
my schnooks,
Yes.
my stunky, you know?
Oh, no. We didn't know stunky. What's a stunky?
Yeah. Babala,
Babala, no. Babala. I've heard that.
babala.
I'm trying to also just look. There's a lot of Yiddish. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
and I really,
Shishka.
I love,
Shiksha. What's
Yeah.
Shiksa? Shiksa. Shiksa.
and also you've got chutzpah,
Goedspa. Yes.
means you've got like
Yes.
vuma.
Vuma, exactly. You've got
Oh, and you know what else I like, which is complete appropriation because it's not even slang, it's vernacular. But I always say you must vuka, China. You must vuka.
Vuka.
Vuka. Yeah, but vuka means wake up.
Vuka
actually.
means to wake up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's a
Miss
lekker word to
Vuka.
say. Vuka.
Vuka,
Yeah.
and so is bepa. Like if you want to clap someone, I'm going to bepa you.
I'm going to bepa you. I didn't know that one. That sounds also good. Bepa.
It's like clap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, is there any better word than cuck?
No. No, it's kak. It's kak lekker to say kak.
Is there any better word? It's not the same as shit. I don't say shit much, but
No.
cuck.
Yeah. And not
Yeah.
the same as crap either. It's cuck.
Yeah, but
No,
kak,
not the same as crap.
kak has a familiarity to it. It's got a, I don't know, it makes you feel better to say
Yeah,
it.
you can talk cuck.
Yeah.
It's cuck nice. It's cuck
Yeah.
lekker.
What is
Kak
your
one.
saying?
You can gaan cuck.
What is your
Also
saying?
gaan cuck. Which one?
Don't be kak, be
Gaan
lekker.
cuck in die millies. Yeah, don't be cuck, be lekker.
No,
Yeah.
but what was the one you just said?
Gaan kak in the middle.
Gaan cuck in die millies.
Kak and betaal.
Kak en betaal, exactly.
But I
Gotta
also
like-
love the gat falls and the windgat and
Was it
Yeah,
other
lots of
Harde
bum humor there.
Yeah, lots of it.
Getting
Eh?
harde gat as well.
Hardegat, yeah. It's been actually lekker to talk about the slang words because, you know, even though you think you know a lot, it's when you hear them again, I mean, your mind doesn't keep them all in there. But when we were looking and researching now, I was actually having a good lach. And that's
Yeah.
another word. People are like, what's
A
lach?
lach.
No, they say, what's lag? And
Lag.
they go, no, I mean
You're
laugh.
like, hey?
Laugh, laugh, you know.
It's a lach.
Yeah. It's
Having a
lach.
lach, man.
Yeah. 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 And saying yeah a lot, eh?
Yeah, if you're in the UK,
Yeah.
it's always
Well, yeah, I say yeah, and I say lekker a lot. And I was thinking about lekker because lekker is like sweets, right? Lekkers with the S, it's like
Yeah.
It's
sweeties.
supposed to be,
Yeah.
with taste.
Yeah.
Like sweets.
Yeah.
But you also be like lekker, lekker, chocolate, lekker,
This is
lekker.
a cracker.
Yeah.
And who's it? How's it? How's it?
Yeah.
Lekker?
Who is it? Lekker? Lekker, lekker.
How's it? Lekker?
But you know, in
How you
Dutch,
doing? I'm lekker.
in Dutch, they use the word lekker, but it's only used for food.
Yeah, for sweet, like
So when-
tastes nice. It's
So when
lekker.
a South African walks in and we use lekker, like that's a lekker torch or that's a lekker bottle and that's a lekker book, they're like, but that's not
I
food.
don't know.
But that's not food. Why are you
Yeah.
saying lekker, you know? But for us, lekker
Yeah.
is lekker.
I mean, there's a lot of words that we have incorporated into our vocab that are just so a part of the way that we talk that we don't even
We don't realize it until you with somebody
we
that's
don't
foreign.
even realize that it's another language or that we've just brought it in there.
Even like,
And it's
is
not
it?
even is it exactly?
Yeah.
And it's not even that you are a certain. It's across everyone in South Africa. I was going to say it's not even, you know, there's a lot of, like I was joking and saying, oh, I'm going to be Port Alfred and say, is it Machana? But
Yeah.
it's not even like that. It's like every region, every South African has this bits and bobs that have just been added. I don't know if other languages or other regions are like that, but it's across, no matter where you are, there's slang.
Yes. Yeah.
And no matter where you are, it's always going to be, how's it, lekker, is it, sweet, cool. Well,
Yeah,
not cool, that's
you
a
really
bit
Saw
blah.
something else,
That's like,
a folksy. Like,
Yeah.
think of a car. It's a folksy. Like, that's nowhere in the world they call it a
Exactly.
folksy.
Yeah.
Or slops. Like, the Oaks don't call it
folksy.
slops.
Or cozy.
Yeah.
A cozy.
Cozy.
Put your cozy on. What's a cozy?
put your cozy on.
Yeah.
Even oaks.
Yeah,
I-
oaks.
Even oaks.
Oaks.
I know when you say oaks, I know you're talking about guys, people,
oaks.
Mensa,
Yeah,
oaks.
yeah. And also all the...
Do you know what else?
What?
Do you know what else I was
Which
thinking
one?
of? I was laughing at my mom because she said she's nearly 100 years old and she got a pimple on her nose. And I said, chorb. I said, you've got a chorb on your nose.
I've got a chorb, yeah.
Job. Oh, that's so from the past, eh? But also, I so from the past, that one, the chorb. I remember that, I've got a chorb. But I was also looking and seeing a lot of the roll. I'll roll you. And let's go on the jaw.
Wow.
Zol.
And the zol, you know?
Oh, and Zol. Yeah, I mean, we don't
Oaks
even know
don't say
about
that.
Zol.
Yeah, and then also the slops. The slops for me are like people overseas call slops slippers
Or flip-flops.
or flip-flops, but most of them call it a slipper. And I'm like, a slipper's like furry and it's something you put your foot into and it's like blah, 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 blah. So, at the end of the day, it's nice to hear that because you get to see and understand that like you can actually talk to people that are not South African and get away with a lot. Another one is skort.
Techies.
Techies, there we
Yeah,
go.
techies.
Perfect one.
But also there's I don't know if you know the word skort.
No, but
It's not Lebanese. It's in the South African part under the Afrikaanisms. And it's actually like skort means shush, don't talk, somebody's coming, like be careful, And actually we, growing up, my brother and I, in the Lebanese side, we used to say that thinking it's a Lebanese word, but I actually came across it and I was like, geez, there's really so many different languages that we've turned the words into slang from those languages. So you're saying you use a lot of Yiddish, there's a lot of Indian, there's a lot of Portuguese,
but like if I had to say to you,
Afrikaans.
I was just thinking what Johnny was saying to this one now, to Vikkel. What does that mean to you?
Oh, yeah, it's a Vikkel. I love it. I got a Vikkel because I'm running late.
Yeah.
Another one I like is a pupil, Get
I
out
love
of my way,
pupil, yeah.
pupil. It's such a
Don't
good
be
feeling
pupil.
word. But also what's cool for us in South Africa is I find a lot of times we sing in our stories to each other. So we'll be like, well, that's the story, Rory. Whatever, Trevor.
Yeah, that's the story, Glory. Yeah.
What's the plan,
What's the
Stan?
plan, Stan? Yeah.
Whatever,
I
Trevor. So it's just
I wonder
actually
if
like
other languages are as rich,
I don't know.
I wonder if, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they do have the slang, but I think what I love about us is that you're talking about 11 national languages. Okay, that's just the 11 that are nominated.
yeah.
Never mind the rest of languages that other people talk. You're talking about people who have got Germanic descendants. You've got across the whole color. You've got dark brown people, light brown people, pinkish people, bronzish colored people, orangish kind of people. You've got all these different. You've got the originals. You've got the inputs. You've got you've got the whole rainbow.
People, those are my favorites. Those are like the original mixed race people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you could say slang. You could say Yussus to anyone.
Yes.
Or you could say Yussus, I've had a cuck day, and everyone would know what you were saying.
Exactly.
But if you go to Holland, or I don't know, if you go to Germany, or if you go to France, and you go like, Yussus, I've had a cuck day, they'd be like, what? Chedi quoi?
Yeah. And do you have some mullah for me?
Yeah, do you have some moochie?
Mullah bucks. Let's make some extra bucks. But also, it's actually for me been so inspiring when I've been overseas to hear all the people look at me when I've said a word. Like, it's so common for me to say it because it doesn't feel like a different language. It feels like it's English because we don't we speak English and throw those words into it, So it becomes this whole story of it, when
you were saying about traveling and, people always say like when they've gone away for traveling for like a long time, people leave if they immigrate or whatnot. There's different reasons why they come back to South Africa. Is it they saw a shot of sun and they missed the sunlight and they came back home but whatever. But I was away for a little while. I can't remember. It was India because I came back via Dubai.
Yeah.
And it was a really long flight back, and it was the airports getting out of India, you know, Janine, it's insane. And then you got to leave. And then I think it was India. And I remember being at Dubai airport and it was kake. You get ferried to like the other end because just kake. And because you're flying to Africa, I think you get ferried to they were building and they're building for whatever was happening. And I remember like I was finished with India. Like I'd gone for the immersion, I'd had the immersion, and it was so lekker. There were like 2 people or 3 people in front of me that were in Dubai, that were from Cape Town, and they were talking. And as soon as I heard them talking and I could hear that it was South Africa, that they were South Africans, I just kind of inched closer to them. I was like, right, I'm not leaving these people.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too.
And it wasn't even that they were talking about slang. They were slang for us. It's so intrinsically woven into how we talk. So it wasn't necessarily that they said lekker and I was like, oh yeah. It wasn't like that. But it was just like I could hear that they were South African.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that they were South African because they could have been from Dubai. It wasn't like I don't know.
Yeah.
But as soon as I heard it, I was like, thank God I'm coming home.
Yeah.
So I've had that feeling.
And this in India was transformational. I loved it. It was amazing. All of that stuff. But
nothing like
there was something about hearing the language and hearing our accent as well. That was like, oh, thank goodness.
Well, Tyrone got so much attention in Ireland for his accent.
Yeah, but also my name was Tyrone.
Good attention or bad attention?
No, good.
No, great attention. Ireland's my favorite place in the world. Jeez, I'll go there tomorrow in a heartbeat. They love the name because it's a county in Ireland is Tyrone. And then then the accent, the tan, like you can't go wrong over there. So,
and they're all beautiful redheads with green eyes.
They're not all beautiful redheads. They are beautiful redheads, but they a lot of blonde girls, and it's crazy because a lot of them wear like fake tan stuff.
Yeah, because they got light skin.
They want to be brown.
Yeah,
but they they love their family vibes, and they love anything foreign. And I don't know, South African men also like a little bit bigger than your normal guy, you know.
In Ireland.
You know, and also all the Irish guys are pale skin, freckles, and red hair. So it's not like they got much of a choice.
Okay.
But yeah, Katie, we're gonna.
we could go on forever.
Yeah,
Katie.
and I
we
think
really could. This has been so.
I think what Ty and I've established today is that there's definitely room for talk and
get you to talk
stories.
by yourself as well.
So we're gonna definitely do some more podcasting with you, and to hear more of your stories, and maybe we'll bring up some different topics of South Africa. But for today, I'm very, very happy with everything we've chatted about. It's a real good feeling to have heard your stories and to have chatted to you about cuck things and lekker things.
Cuck things and lekker things. I love it. I love the diversity, babe, you know?
Yeah. And we're starving.
Everyone comes from different
angles. We're going to get some greys now, you know? We're going
to get some chow.
Yeah, we're going to get some chow, get some greys, maybe a dorp, you know? Become a bit dorp. Chocolate cozy.
Chocolate. Have a dip.
Yeah, have a dip.
Have a dip.
Do you remember Cokie Pen?
Yeah, Cokies, exactly.
Cokies, like nobody knows.
You know how many times Cokies, when the students, were coming, when I was doing the internship stuff, when the students were coming, we'd say, no man, just grab a Cokie because you're going to work with young kids.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Or have some cool drink.
Yeah.
What do you mean cool?
Come some cool drink.
Some legal. Let's have
not
some
even
legal.
Exactly, Janine. I was going to say, game.
Yeah.
Just have some game.
Now you're taking us back, Katie. Way back. But
all right, you lovelies. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Katie. It's great speaking to you again.
We love you so
much. Oh, so much fun. Thank you. I love you a lot.
Chat with you again.
Yeah, we can't.
You're lekker, man. Have a good rest of evening.
I'll catch up with you in the week on a personal level.
I'll catch up with you in the week, and I hope you involve like millions of other slices of life just to hear all of these Yussus tribe people.
And 100%. We've got a whole lot of moths coming in now, so I think we're going to have to close up the studio.
Ended up now.
Yeah, there's loads. I think they found the light. We've got these beautiful camera lights, and they're just like, oh, there's some light. Let us go to the
light. No, chokos.
Yeah.
Don't need chokos.
Chokos. Mechis.
Mechis.
Okay, you sweetheart.
All right, love you guys.
Love
Chat
you.
soon.
Chat soon.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. A few months after this podcast was recorded, Katie sadly took her last breath. Our dear soul sister Katie was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in the beginning of March 2020, just before the world went crazy in the COVID pandemic. Katie fought like a warrior to battle this disease in a time where the world was filled with uncertainty and fear. She embraced this fatal journey, oozing grace and humility. And she would always tell me, "It's okay. Even when it's not okay, it's okay." A phrase that has become my daily war cry. Katie held such a depth in appreciating her daily life and all the beauty that surrounded her. She walked through the valley of her own shadow, carrying a childlike light in her heart. Katie offered the world her full capacity, selflessly, with such an infectious humor. And I was one of the lucky ones to share belly-aching laughter sessions with her on our weekly calls. We recorded this podcast with Katie in March 2021, in a time when she was experiencing some of her darkest moments. But listening to our conversation with her, you would never have guessed her daily struggles with facing her own mortality. She never wanted anyone to pity her or treat her like she was dying. She was a lover of words, nature, family and friends, crystals, essential oils, and all other healing gifts of the earth. She loved flowers and animals, and she had 2 dynamic cats who were her best friends and with her to the end. Katie shared her heart and gifts of crystal amulets and essential oil potions with all who crossed her path. And those who crossed her path were instantly sparked with light and hope. Katie toured South Africa to the fullest and generously created content and photos for Yussus lifestyle brand. No matter what her dire circumstances were, she always offered a radiant smile with a sparkle in her eyes. Katie revered water dearly in her life and constantly found ways of conserving her usage of this precious water. She spread the message of the blessing water offers us, and it's no doubt that she was a Pisces star sign. She appreciated water as a healing tool and has increased my own personal awareness drastically just from her example. Katie sadly took her last breath on the 10th of August, 2021, a day after the 9th of August Women's Day celebrations. She gently left this physical world to become the dragonfly spirit she so radiantly exuded in her human existence. She wanted to create a foundation and call it the Give a Fuck Foundation. She strongly believed that if we all just gave more of a fuck about ourselves and others and the planet, then the world would be a more beautiful and breathable experience. Katie will never be forgotten and will always be honored and cherished for the enormous impact she had on so many people. The world is a better place having had her essence grace its space. Katie, Penny, Dragonfly, thank you for all that you are to so many people. We love you, and until we meet again, the next time you see a dragonfly, think of Katie and remember, it's okay. Even when it's not okay, it's okay.
I'll go there tomorrow in a heartbeat. Like,